Just pronounce it as it's written. Italian and Spanish, English and French. No, English is literally written the way it's pronounced besides a few words. English insults, Spanish. Saying anything in Russian. Casually ordering food in German. Why is baked pronounced baked, but naked isn't pronounced naked? Because, as someone said, English is not a language. It's 3 languages wearing a trench coat pretending to be one. Pretty bold of you to say that since you got named after the sound a plunger makes. We need over 6,500 languages so people can communicate with each other. French pigs be like, oink. Japanese pigs be like, oinku. American pigs be like, stop resisting. Why I use subtitles? Because I can't understand the language. Because there are too many accents and slang. Because I'm going to eat chips. You mean crisps? Who the hell decided rendezvous would be pronounced like that? Poor monolinguals. They can't seem to understand that other languages beside English exist. What did you just call me? I called you Mongolian. What language do they speak at the center of the earth? Korean. The center of the earth is around 5,430 degrees Celsius. Nobody is going to live there, so they don't need a language. Korean. Women in Japanese. Noisy in Japanese. My parents arguing about divorce. Me coming to tell them I set my phone's language to Japanese and I can't change it back. Word of the day is latibulate. To hide in a corner in an attempt to escape reality. Okay, well, we're bringing that back, obviously. English language be like, no, stop, dude. Literally, like, seriously, frick. That's a sentence right there. Forwards and backwards. You can rearrange them in any order and it will still be a sentence. Shakespeare. Learning English as a second language. Forgetting my native language. How to speak Italian? Just learn the Romance language. How to speak Romanian? Drink 10 bottles of beer and try to speak Italian with a Russian accent to my blind followers. How are they supposed to read this? It's sign language. Are you dumb? Find the difference. English and Spanish. Do, did, done, doing. I'm sorry, and I apologize, mean the same thing, except when you're at a funeral. English is such a weird language. I apologize for your loss. Some jerks decided to build this, and now I have to learn 3 languages. I'm going to watch this movie with subtitles. The subtitles: speaking Penguinese. Nicknames: when you shorten someone's name affectionately. Nicholas names: when you elongate someone's name affectionately. Nichard names: when you incorrectly elongate someone's name for humorous effect. French words exist. Some letters in the pronunciations. English literature: I will die for honor. French: I will die for love. American: I will die for freedom. Russian: I will die. Most common languages spoken by trees. They're all speaking Vietnamese. A biologist believes that trees speak a language we can learn. Please stop. Dutch is barely a respectable language as it is. Whoopsie whoopsie, the train is stucky wucky. Grotesque is the most venomous word in the English language. Because not only are you gross, but you're so gross I had to get a little French to let you know. Noel is a weird name, mostly because there's 2 of them right towards the end. Diamonds are formed under pressure, and bread dough rises when you let it rest. We are all our own thing. What's motivating to you may be crippling to others. There's an old saying, I think it's Russian. The same boiling water that softens the potato will harden the egg. What are the most profound jokes ever? An MIT linguist professor was lecturing his class the other day. In English, he said, a double negative forms a positive. However, in some languages such as Russian, a double negative remains a negative. But there isn't a single language, not one, in which a double positive can express a negative. A voice from the back of the room piped up. Yeah, right, British people, when they come home and they don't have to do the accent anymore. Germanic languages. Kann ich Ihnen ein Rat geben? I don't understand you. Slavic languages. I think they understand each other. Y'all ain't ready for this. You all y'all are not, ain't, yain't. All languages travel at the speed of sound, except sign language that travels at the speed of light. I just learned that the word ferret is derived from the Latin word ferretus, meaning little thief, and that a group of ferrets is called a business. I am pleased with this new knowledge. I'm enriched by this knowledge. Thank you. Wants to read, doesn't read. Wants to draw, doesn't draw. Wants to study a language, doesn't. Wants to watch new movies, doesn't. Wants to do stuff I like and it doesn't. This is called depression. Yesterday I learned there's a phrase in German meaning I'm feeling visited enough that you can say when you want company to go, and this is brilliant. Guy and man have different connotations with adjectival nouns, like tree guy, a poorest, but tree man, he lives in a tree, or maybe he is a tree. I know a guy. I have a useful contact. I know a man. I'm about to tell a story. How did they learn to translate languages into other languages? How did they know which words meant what? English person. Points at an apple. Apple. French person. Non c'est un pomme. When you feel sad, just remember that the English language has a dedicated verb for sending people links to a Rick Astley music video. English is weird. Horror, horrible, horrific, terror, terrible, terrific. I never said she stole my money. This sentence has 7 different meanings depending on the stressed word. The English language, everyone. This hit me like a brick. And people wonder why authors use italics and bold so readers understand what the hell is going on. I only found like 2. I never said she stole my money. 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 Wait, money? My money. I don't know about the last one. That's kind of hard. Bilingual culture is that you can understand a phrase immediately, but when someone asks you to translate it, your brain just stops working and you just die. Tony can be spelled as Tony. I hate the English language. This traveler t-shirt with 40 icons lets you communicate in any country, even if you don't speak its language. That can come in handy. A person from Iceland is Icelandic. So a person from Thailand is Thailandic. No, a person from Thailand is Thai. So a person from England is Eng. No, a person from England is English. So a person from Switzerland is Switzerlish. No, a person from Switzerland is Swiss. Screw you and your language. Roofs look unbelievably stupid typed out. Why can't we just say roofs? Clown language with clown plurals. If the plural of roof were roofs, the singular of grooves would have to be groof. Is that what you want? Point taken. I'll do anything to avoid groof.
No, in an American accent.
No, in an English accent.
No, in an Australian.
The first Polish language dictionary includes definitions such as horses. Everyone knows what a horse is. Archaeologists 20,000 years after horses go extinct. I don't. It's one of the most accurate things in studying history. When a native speaker of your target language complements your accent. UK versus US language. Chips, fries, aeroplane, airplane, underground, subway. And I can't read the last one. That is insane. The best way to learn a language is to speak to the natives. People learning Python. You speak Arabic. No, we have our own language with a long story. Please read more books. Would be great if we spoke Latin. Yes. Fine is a weird word. If you go out for fine dining, that's the nicest kind of restaurant. But if they ask you how the food was and you say fine, that means it was just okay. Then you go out to see you parked illegally and you have to pay a fine, which is bad. I speak 5 languages. English, beer, Dutch, beer, German, beer, French, beer, Italian, beer. Midwesterners be like, no, yeah, equals yes. Yeah, no, equals no. Yeah, no, for sure, equals definitely. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm sorry, but unfortunately the answer is yes. No, yeah, no. Oh no, you've got nothing to worry about. Why do people think bisexuality is confusing? It's not. You know what is confusing? Biannual. Does it mean every 2 years or twice a year? No one knows. Biannual means twice a year. Biennial means every other year. Reblog to save a life. Why does everyone say housewife or house husband when house spouse is not only gender neutral, but also rhymes? Wait, spouse rhymes with house? I always pronounced it spoos in my head. Why is your language so weird? Because English beats up other languages in dark alleys, then rifles through their pockets for loose grammar and spare vocabulary. What's that Christmas song that'll be like, the least knobby dot? It's Spanish. You say, it's Feliz Navidad. You know how in Greek myths, people who die tragically sometimes get placed among the stars by the gods? Call that it's okay, take your time, constellation prize. It's a good thing we named most of the dinosaurs like 100 years ago when we were all into mythology and speaking Latin. If they just learned about dinosaurs now and had to name 100, there would be a hecking chonkosaurus and a northern thick scaly boy. Language. Let's be clear and simple. French. None. We whisper half the word and moan the rest. Russian cursive is the most mind-blowing thing I've seen. Spanish. Table is feminine. German. Table is masculine. English. Table is table. 2 students, James and John, were given a grammar test by their teacher. The question was, is it better to use had or had in this example sentence? The teacher collected the tests and looked over their answers. James, well, John had. Holy brain hurt. If everyone had to speak one language and it wasn't English, which language should it be and why? C++. Imagine guys having an argument in C++. So in India, eating carpet strictly prohibited. One can't decide whether to join the Bard's College or the Thieves Guild. One will just have to weigh the pros and the cons. Loads crossbow. I promised my girlfriend that I would learn her language. Where's she from? Finland. What do you get when you mix alcohol and literature? Tequila Mockingbird. F. Scotch Fitzgerald. Teacher. There are no stupid questions, only silly intentions. Me. Why do Brits speak English, an American language, rather than speaking some European language? My English not good. This video is fricking. Birth control pills, anti-baby pillin'. Koreans, when their highly complex 600-year-old writing system gets called the Squid Game language. Sorry, I don't speak sushi. French. Singular. Le, la, plural. Les. Italian. Il, lo, la, plural. I, gil, le. German. De, die, das, die, den, die, das, die, dem, de, dem, die, la, la, la. English. The. Dude is gender neutral. Do you frick dudes? I told my Spanish teacher that my goal was to learn what buena suerte meant. She replied, good luck. I said thanks, but I don't believe in luck. Once you read a dictionary, every other book is just a remix. Until we meet again. Fact, in Germany, you call cats Stubentiger, which means living room tiger. Finally, worthy lessons. Yes, I want to speak enchantment table. Where are you from? I'm from Brazil. Brazil doesn't speak English. Yeah, but you know humans can learn more than one language? IKEA, what are you doing? It says the same text but in Arabic. Should have learned Spanish. English, French. Being difficult to spell. Looks like you spelled them correctly here. The letters B and D in the name Abdullah. No language should be mocked other than French. Birds is wisiks in French. No letter is pronounced the way it should. And then there are 7 of them. It's pronounced Wezo, and yes, I will die mad about it. Don't say restaurant, which is from French. The native English word is sneeding house. My Chinese friend is just learning English. Love you too. Good night. Good night, rest in peace. Please don't say that to anyone. Okay. I learned there is a difference between further and father, and no one knows or cares. But now I always notice if they're using it right or wrong according to these antiquated usage rules. Further is for metaphorical distance. Father is for physical distance. Father is for emotional distance. The rest of the world asking. Spanish-speaking people asking, do you speak Italian? Yes. Say something, Peter. How I feel when someone asks if I speak Spanish, and I reply with poquito. The coolest part about being in Amsterdam is the language is so close to English, but just feels incomprehensible enough that it feels like you're having a stroke the entire time. Romans, when you speak literal gibberish that sounds vaguely Italian. Parisians, when you speak French with the slightest foreign accent. 8-year-old me. Cusses, who taught you that language? You, parents. I came across a post which said, change the language setting to Dutch for fun. And I did it. It's been an hour and I'm enjoying it. French cheese, Dutch cheese. The disease Americans call cheese. Sorry for bad English. Sorry for my poor language. Pardon me for my poor choice of words. If I make a mistake in English, please don't correct me. I have no respect for this language. Why do they have fake languages on Duolingo? 23. Most languages. 3 and 20. Languages that don't have a word for the day before yesterday. Any languages that do have a word for the day before yesterday. How do you say island in your language? Island. Incel. Isla. Oh, Sweden. Adopted child is called Yoshi in Japanese. English inside my head. English when I talk, English speakers, Spanish speakers, not understanding whatever Shakira is saying in her songs. Longest word in the English language. Average name of a chemical compound. Cursing in English, cursing in your native language. Europeans knowing more than 3 languages. Asians knowing 3 or more. Americans knowing that one of those languages is usually English. I accidentally hit the language button on my remote last night and watched Family Guy in Spanish for 10 minutes, thinking it was a weird joke. Did you learn a new language? Sí, what did it cost? Mi familia. The letter J to Spanish language. Am I a hook to you? No, Spanish is the second most popular language and easy to understand. English. Your language is confusing. I know. The most popular language on Duolingo. Sweden. Goals are beyond your understanding. If you can't think of a word, say, I forgot the English word for it. That way, people will think you're bilingual instead of an idiot. Why Dutch shouldn't be translated to English. A few Dutch sayings in English. It rains steel pipes. I fell with the door in the house. There is nothing on the hand. I shall let them smell a poppy. I like this. Will we find intelligent life? Could it be right here on Earth? Oh, tell me this. If you live in the United States, why in the world would you speak a European language such as English? 2 different countries, thousands of miles apart, on different continents. The search continues. Fun fact, the reason that the plural of goose is geese, but the plural of moose is not meese, is because goose derives from an ancient Germanic word undergoing strong declension. In the pattern of foot, feet, and tooth, teeth, wherein oo is mutated to e. However, moose is a Native American word added to the English lexicon only 400 years ago, and lacks the etymological reason to be pluralized in that way. Oh baby, talking dirty to me. Quite, an adverbial modifier that shades the meaning of a statement. Americans use quite to amplify their enthusiasm for an adjective, in the way they would really, very, totally be contrast if a Brit volunteers that a visitor is quite attractive. They're only saying fairly or sort of attractive. This ambiguous intensity intensifier bestows a damning with faint praise effect on any word with which it is tuned. I never knew that was what Americans meant when they said, quiet. Why didn't anyone tell me? Hate message. Angry response. Very triggered response with no facts to back it up. Unintelligible nonsense about your female parent and doing the intercourse in no way related to the events that transpired in the game. Thinking about how there are people who literally actually speak Dutch every day. And it's not, okay, why is this video? Why have I downloaded so many memes against the Dutch? I'm so sorry, it should be the French. How did Dutch people have the deed? Seriously. Spank me daddy is give me en clap papa. You can't be serious. In Norwegian, you don't refer to your romantic partner as boyfriend or girlfriend. You say kjæreste, which is gender neutral and literally translates to the dearest. In Swedish, you refer to your boyfriend/girlfriend by saying älskling, which translates into my beloved one. And in Finnish, we say malkvisti, which means one I don't hate as much as the other. Squints at Finland. I love those maps of regional linguistic differences. They're like, okay, so 49.9% of the country calls them lighting bugs. 49.9% calls them fireflies. And if you zoom in right here, this little town of 200 people randomly calls them glitter bats. One of my students has used the word frictangular in an informal essay to describe a situation that was complicated and messy in multiple unpleasant and difficult ways. I'm in the presence of greatness. I am stealing this word.